Thanks very much indeed for that. You're watching BBC News 24. Now, as we have been hearing, government ministers including John Prescott and Ruth Kelly have been meeting senior Muslim figures to discuss what can be done to tackle extremism in their communities. Mohammed Shafiq is a spokesman for the Ramadhan Foundation, which works to build bridges between Muslim communities and wider society. He's in our Manchester studio, and in many ways we've seen discussions like this before. How helpful are they?
Good afternoon to you, Louise. Let me just say this first of all, that the government carried out similar consultation exercises after 7/7. The Deputy Prime Minister and Ruth Kelly are meeting senior Muslim leaders. We once again have been isolated from their meetings. And what it shows you is that this government isn't serious about dealing with the underlying issues and the underlying reasons why people are attracted to extremism and terrorism. And that is the double standards that is applied when it comes to foreign policy, the double standard when it comes to Muslim life around the world.
Okay, but I mean, we do come back to this point, and as you make it again and again, with regard to foreign policy, I mean, we do live in a democracy. People can vote, can change things in that way.
Rightly so. I think people have a duty to participate in the political process, and we have to ensure that we encourage young people to get involved in that process. But unless you deal with one of the biggest chunk of why people are attracted to terrorism, why young Muslims are not attracted to the political process, is because of the double standards applied in foreign policy. Let me give you a quick example. For instance, when it comes to Lebanon, for instance, 1,000 innocent people were killed. Our Prime Minister and our British government refused to condemn the Israeli government aggression that was carried out. Over a third of the people who were killed in Lebanon were innocent children. Where is the justice in that? Where is the equality? And how can we encourage more young people to get involved in the political process when they see the carnage developing on our screens today?
Well, how do you do that? I mean, that is part of your remit, isn't it? To start talking to young people. How do you explain that to them? How do you get them involved?
Well, we first of all said to people that we have to be absolutely clear that there is no justification for the killing of innocent people, whether they be anywhere in the world or here in the UK. And secondly, we have to encourage young people to get involved in the process. And how you do that is by showing them that our politicians are listening. And the sad reality is this, that this government has been responsible for making these razzmatazz announcements, gizmos in the press. And when it comes to the substance, there is no substance. And the community groups, organisations that are dealing with terrorism in our community have been marginalised, and we haven't even been invited by the government to these meetings that are happening today.
But there are other people who have been invited to that. I mean, why is there? How do you choose who's invited?
Well, that's a question you're going to have to put to the ministers. We, as the Minister, Ruth Kelly is aware, in Rochdale and Greater Manchester area, working to tackle extremism. We work day in, day out with young people, giving talks, encouraging them away from that process, and we have been excluded. And it shows you there are numerous other groups in the north who are operating who have been excluded. The people who normally attend these meetings are Labour Party members or Labour Party supporters.
Okay, I appreciate your time. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Mohammed Shafiq, spokesman for the Ramadhan Foundation.